Indian guy,
Okay,
maybe 30 years old, came and raped her.
Alleged sexual assault in Mahabalipuram near Chennai in Tamil Nadu. The police detains 3 suspects for questioning.
I would like to thank on behalf of all residents to the media,
Mirror Now channel और फायर डिसूजा जी, उनका मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करूंगा कि उन्होंने इस टॉपिक को कंटिन्यूसली लिया, फॉलोअप करते हुए लिया.
Mirror Now impact. Doctors finally breathe a sigh of relief. Security beefed up in public hospitals across Mumbai. 2 women IAS officers attacked in Udupi in Karnataka. Their fault, they cracked down on the sand mining mafia. And day 3 of the truckers' strike in South India. Protests intensify. Prices of vegetables shoot up. You're watching the big story on Mirror Now. I'm Krishna Kumar. Straight up, the Supreme Court's crackdown on bars and liquor outlets on highways across India. Expectedly, not all is going well with restaurant and bar owners. Now, bar owners look up to the government to work a way around the Supreme Court ban. Owners across several parts of India have been seen protesting, taking to the streets. Let's start with a ground report from Guwahati.
We are in the 9th Mile area in the outskirts of Guwahati, and behind me is the National Highway 37. On the other side of the road is Assam, and we are right now standing on the Meghalaya side of the border. There used to be several wine shops in this locality, but after the Supreme Court ban on wine shops, which were within 500 meters radius from any national highways, the shop owners have either closed down their wine shops or have relocated them to some other locations beyond 500 meters radius of the national highways.
It's a loss of business, there's no doubt about it. It's loss of employment. It's a huge loss to the state governments in revenues. Like I said, there is a marked difference between a liquor van, which is a theka, which is a tin shop which you can move anywhere. You know, it's a place which is given for every year. How would you ever move a hotel or a restaurant? We don't have a ministry to start with, so we really don't have a national data. You know, these are all private limited companies usually. The way we've done this is in the last 2 days, because this happened on a Friday night, we're sitting on a Monday. So over the last 2 days, 8 large associations covering all the hotels and restaurants came together under one roof yesterday actually. And we're trying to ascertain the collateral damage that's created. Back of envelope numbers is coming to about 1 lakh crore rupees, which is 100,000 crore rupees, and looking at almost 10 lakh or 1 million people being affected, employment being affected. That's the numbers that we're getting.
I can say it could be the biggest curse to this industry now, because this industry, which gives so much back in way of employment, in way of revenue, in way of earning foreign exchange, this entire industry now is literally come to a standstill. We have a number of 5 stars, number of standalones, number of budget bars, number of other bars and permit rooms which have gone out of action from the first morning, that is 31st night precise. What now? My guess is as good as yours, but we are looking at something that probably we wouldn't have imagined also some few days back. It's a very sad state of affair for an industry that has given so much in revenue, so much in employment, and so much in foreign exchange.
After the Supreme Court order, it was very easy for the vents to really shift the stock 500 meters away. But these pubs, these hotels which are built on the state highways and national highways, which have invested crores of rupees, it's really impossible to shift. And that is why you're seeing a lot of protests by the hotel owners and also the employees.
There's a very less number of people are coming. Like earlier, generally 100 to 200 people visited generally daily basis in this pub or bar. But nowadays only 10 to 12 people visiting on daily basis. This is just because of the order of Supreme Court. The direct impact is on the owners as well and the persons who are doing job over here. Owners have invested so much money in this bar. Like you can see the interior, exteriors and liquor stock as well. So that has been all closed. And after that, we will talk about the employees. Employees who are staying out of their home over here, they have taken the room rents, and they have to pay the salary of, they have to pay the admission fees of their children. As you know, the admission season is going on. So these are major problems which are facing by the employees especially. It's directly impacting on the employees and owners both.
Cyber Hub, home to country's fanciest restaurants and food joints, seems to have gone dry since April 1st. Supreme Court's order of 31st March prohibiting sale of liquor in and around 500 meters of all national and state highways seems to have done so. Industry experts suggest a collateral damage of 1 lakh crore rupees on an annual basis, and the order is likely to impact more than 10 lakh people.
Away from that, on to a mega Mirror Now impact. Our relentless coverage and pointed demands for security for doctors in Maharashtra has been implemented. After repeated attacks on doctors across the state, we had asked the government to beef up security in government hospitals. Guards have now been appointed at KEM, Cooper, Sion and Nair, among other hospitals. A direct hotline for doctors and a rapid action force is among other measures that will ensure doctors are safe while treating patients. My colleague Richa Sharma gets us more on this Mirror Now impact. Take a look.
In what can be seen as a major and mega Mirror Now impact, finally the BMC and the authorities and the state government authorities have implemented an additional forces of around 104 police personnel and security guards as hospitals like Sion Hospital, where I'm standing currently, to provide security to these doctors who have been protesting against the assaults that were happening by the patients and the relatives in the near past. Now, speaking to a number of doctors here, they state that they are finally feeling satisfied enough because they feel secured enough to work in the hospital premises because they know and they feel protected now that additional forces have been implemented at these hospitals. If we talk about the number of security personnel implemented, at Sion Hospital, a total number of 104 security personnel have been implemented. At KEM Hospital, a number of 112 security personnel have been implemented, and at Nair Hospital, a total number of 76 additional security personnel have been implemented, and at Cooper Hospital, an additional of 29 security personnel have already been implemented starting 1st April. These doctors also state that now a compulsory pass system has been implemented at the entrance gate, and no additional family members are being allowed to enter the premises without a proper security check. And moving forward, they hope that this continues so that they feel secured enough to work in their hospital premises. This is Richa Sharma for Mirror Now, Mumbai.
As you can see at our hospitals, some of them are armed, and around 50% of the security which has been guaranteed to our hospital, they have already joined. So yeah, things have actually started happening, and let's hope for the best now.
At the entrance, yes, we do have security, and they are only allowing people with passes to enter the ward building. However, outside each and every respective ward, the security is yet to be deployed. We are working on it. We are in discussions with our authorities, and hopefully that would be done by this weekend.
The number of relatives, those who are coming with accompanying the patient, they are less. So we are able to communicate nicely now.
Security is beefed up in KEM, Nair, Sion and all the hospitals across the state. And yes, resident doctors are definitely happy by the step taken by this government and our administration.
All the residents are happy, but we want these measures to be in the long run, so that the idea means that safely working condition for the resident to be fulfilled in the future days also.
Conditions are pretty satisfactory at the moment, so we are happy. So the conditions are implemented. Whatever we demanded we are seeing on the ground. The alarm system has been started, and we hope the remaining security comes in the few days and everything is sorted out.
Whatever demands of the residents were there, so they were conveyed by media, and that helped us to redress our grievances, and that led to awareness about the problems of resident doctors. So I would like to thank on behalf of all residents to the media, Mirror Now and Boston.
A mirror now impact from day one. Along with the doctors, we asked the government to beef up security. Listening to BJP spokesperson on the implementation of the security protocol.
सबसे पहले तो मैं मिरर नाउ चैनल और फायर डिसूजा जी उनका मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करूंगा कि उन्होंने इस टॉपिक को कंटिन्यूसली लिया, फॉलोअप करते हुए लिया। दूसरा, यहाँ के मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी जिन्होंने 10 साल पुरानी ये डिमांड, सालों साल से कई सरकारें आई और गई, लगातार डॉक्टरों पे हमले होते रहे, लेकिन किसी ने भी इसको सीरियसली नहीं लिया। पर देवेंद्र जी ने इसको सीरियसली लिया, सीरियसली ले करके और इतना अधिक सिक्योरिटी, यानी मुझे तो, मैं भी इन सब का एक प्रक्रिया में हिस्सेदार था, पर शायद जो डॉक्टर्स थे उन्होंने भी सोचा नहीं होगा कि इतनी उम्दा और इतनी अच्छी सिक्योरिटी ये डॉक्टर्स के लिए और इनके लिए दी है, अस्पतालों के लिए। और आगे भी डॉक्टरों की जो भी डिमांड है, सिर्फ सुरक्षा के नाते ही नहीं, लेकिन और भी कई सारी डिमांड है, उन सभी डिमांड्स को पूरा किया जाएगा और जल्दी से जल्दी उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया जाएगा और महाराष्ट्र के डॉक्टरों को एक सुरक्षित वातावरण दे करके और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मरीजों की सेवा करें, ऐसा सरकार की मंशा जताते हुए सरकार ने डॉक्टरों की सुरक्षा के उपाय किए हैं। एक पेशेंट के साथ में सिर्फ 2 उसके रिश्तेदार वही अस्पताल के अंदर आ पाएंगे और फिर डॉक्टरों के भी लिए भी एक वातावरण बनेगा, वो अपने अच्छी तरह से उसका इलाज कर पाएंगे। कई सारे ICU यूनिट्स के अंदर और अलार्म के बटन्स लगाए हैं, अगर कोई ऐसी घटना होने को हो, डॉक्टरों को लगे तो कोई भी उसको अलार्म बजा सकता है। पुलिस का सर्विलेंस एकदम रखा हुआ है, कई जगह पर CCTV कैमरेज वहाँ पर इंस्टॉल किए जाएंगे। वहाँ पर रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स के साथ साथ में पुलिस पर्सनल, महिला पुलिस, जेंट्स पुलिस, वो भी वहाँ पर रखी गई है। तो जो डॉक्टरों की सालों साल से डिमांड थी कि इस प्रकार की सुरक्षा होनी चाहिए, तो उससे अच्छी सुरक्षा देने का प्रयास मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी ने डॉक्टरों को रामनवमी का तोहफा करके उनको दी है और मुझे लगता है कि उन्होंने बहुत ही सराहनीय और बहुत ही अच्छा काम किया है।
After a 38-year-old German woman alleged rape in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, the police has nabbed 3 suspects. The incident happened in Mahabalipuram near Chennai, where the victim alleged that 2 unidentified men sexually assaulted her while she was on a beach on Saturday. The police has formed 4 special teams to investigate the case. My colleague Shabir gets us more details from Chennai. Take a look.
We are here outside the resort where the German national was staying, and right behind me you can see the car of the SP of Kanjipuram, who is right now carrying out investigations with the German nationals to try and identify the people who have been involved in this incident. And what we understand is that the police have managed to come up with some pictures from the identity that was revealed by the victim, and they are now trying to confirm the identity with the victim by showing her pictures and trying to understand as to whether these people who are involved in this incident, whether they are from the local area or they are outsiders. And what we have picked up from police sources is that those who have been involved in this incident are outsiders. They are not from the local areas, and 4 special teams have been formed and they have spread all across Mahabalipuram and ECR, trying to gather information, trying to collect the CCTV footage. And remember, this incident happened 2.5 kilometers away from this resort where the victim has been staying, and the police have now managed to obtain CCTV footages, and with the help of the members of the German consulate who are also present, who are also assisting the investigations, they are trying to identify the accused, and that process is on. The police is extremely tight-lipped here. They are only giving us limited information, but as of now it's clear that the police does not have any kind of clue about as to who are these people who have been involved in this incident. But what we gather is that this particular incident has shocked the entire state, because this is the first time something like this is happening. Yes, there have been similar cases in the past where foreign nationals have alleged that they were harassed by some locals and some tourists who visit Mahabalipuram, but this is the first time an allegation of rape has been reported in this particular area, and that's the reason why the police is extremely serious and special teams have been been formed to try and ascertain the identity of the accused who have been involved in this incident and carry out investigations. And we also saw police officers and special teams all over the entire stretch of ECR trying to gather information from the local villagers, from the local fishing hamlets. They have also visited the crime scene to try and identify if some locals can identify the accused who have been involved in this incident. And this is a huge embarrassment for the Tamil Nadu government that a German national has alleged that she was raped by 3 people in Mahabalipuram, somewhere near in Mahabalipuram, and this has caused a massive embarrassment not only for the government but also for the police.
Lady down.
Okay, ma'am.
2 Indian guys,
Okay, ma'am.
maybe 30 years old, came and raped her. And she got very hurt here, on his leg. That's it.
Which people?
Indian people, 2 Indian people. We don't know the name and we're not going to give our name. It's okay.
Okay. So particular person name? Particular person name?
The man have around 30.
Ma'am, you have to complaint in Mahabalipuram beach? Mahabalipuram police station?
It's not Madam Beach. Patipudam. Patipudam. I think it's enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have complained to your...
Of course, we complained to the police. The police people was very professional. They was very nice. They came until the beach. They watched up what's going on the beach.
Okay,
they did all the investigation. Now they come with us to the hospital. They were very kind. Indian police people were very kind.
FIR file, no problem. Complaint lodge, FIR file.
And special teams, sir?
Special team forms, 4 team form, no problem.
But this is the first incident something like this has happened.
It's the first incident, I think so, because
a lot of tourists and foreign nationals visit this area, and there is a sense of fear now after this.
No, everything they are safe now. For Mahabalipuram, we have given all protection to all people. Everybody, those who are coming to Mahabalipuram, we have given all steps. We have taken steps. We have given all protection. I think this is the first time. We will check you the people accused very soon. No problem.
Meanwhile, a Bengaluru student allegedly got raped by her dance teacher. The student alleged that the teacher repeatedly raped her over 6 months. The victim was enrolled in the accused's dance classes. The accused dance teacher is in police's clutches now. My colleague Shrija gets us more details from Bengaluru.
Another case of rape has been reported from Bengaluru. A 19-year-old girl was threatened and raped by her dance teacher. This particular case has been reported from Banaswati police station limits. In fact, the victim was threatened and asked not to inform anybody about this by her dance teacher. But however, this victim in fact mustered courage and filed a complaint with the Banaswati police station on Sunday. A case has been registered under IPC section 376 for rape, 324 for assault and 507 for threat, and the accused has been identified as Christopher. What we understand is that right now the investigation is underway, and they have in fact requested the court for judicial custody. In Bengaluru, Shrija for Mirror Now.
ಬಾಣಸ್ವಾಡಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದ ಈ ಘಟನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ ಡಾನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾಳೆ. ಈ ಡಾನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟರ್ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅವನು ಅತ್ಯಾಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ ಘಟನೆ. ಆ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಹಿಳೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಇದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ ಆರೋಪಿಗೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ದಸ್ತಗಿರಿ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಮುಂದಿನ ತನಿಖೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೌದು, ಸುಮಾರು ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ 2016 ಇಂದ ಈ ತರ ಅನೇಕ ಬಾರಿ ಈ ತರ ಅತ್ಯಾಚಾರ ನಡೆದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಹಿಳೆ ತನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
And with that, it's time now for a short break. But still ahead on the show, truckers' strike in South India disrupts life. Vegetable prices shoot up. More details on that in just a couple of minutes. Keep it with Mirror Now. You're watching Big Story on Mirror Now. I'm Krishna Kumar. Two more trucker associations have joined the truckers' strike in South India, demanding the central government to lower fuel prices. The strike has indeed had a direct impact on people, as vegetable prices have been seen shooting up. Here is the latest ground report from Srija in Bengaluru.
I'm right now standing at KR Market. In fact, this is one of the biggest markets here in Bengaluru. Clearly, due to the indefinite lorry strike, the vegetable prices have skyrocketed twofold. There has been twofold increase in the vegetable prices. Just 2 days ago, beans cost, it was priced at ₹40, and on Monday they have priced at ₹60, which is twofold increase. Also, the carrots on Monday cost around 40 to 45 rupees here at this market. In fact, what we understand is that the businesses over here have clearly taken a hit due to the indefinite lorry strike called by the Lorry Federation of Karnataka. Almost 6 southern states, that is Karnataka, Kerala, Pondicherry, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, are staging an indefinite strike, in fact demanding the government to roll back on their demands, that is as far as the insurance which they hike, that is the 50% of insurance on third party has been increased, and they are demanding the government to roll back on that, as well as they are asking the government to in fact roll back on the increased RTO fees, also on to make India a toll-free barrier. What the Lorry Association, the Federation of Karnataka, they tell us is that they are planning to continue on this indefinite strike until the government in fact steps up and takes a decision. Also, we understand that on Tuesday the Petroleum Association as well as the Gas Association here in Karnataka are planning to continue, in fact sit on an indefinite strike along with the Lorry Association of Karnataka if the government fails to take a decision. In Bengaluru, Srija for Mirror Now.
कच्चा माल छोड़ के बाकी पूरा फूड ग्रेन सभी आज से वो लोग भी हमारा साथ में हाथ जोड़ दिया है। कल पूरा हमारा बल्कर्स जो एलपीजी टैंकर्स होने दीजिए या कि पेट्रोल डीजल वाला सब लोग हमारा साथ में है, और कल से आईटीबीटी वाला भी हमारा साथ में आ रहा है कि उसका जो भी कार टेम्पो ट्रॉलर बस सभी चल रहा है सब लोग बंद कर रहा है।
I request the Transport Department of the Karnataka government to talk to their counterparts as well as the lorry organization who are affiliated to the All India Motor Conference to quickly resolve this issue, because city in the first week we have come back from the all these days notes ban were there, now we have come to normalcy. So we request the authorities to speak to amicable decision, but they have to come forward and talk to them. Yeshwanthpur market transaction will be about 50 crores in all together, because with their sugar, there's atta maida, rice, pulses, except only onion potato, except vegetables, everything is being sold. So 50 crores turnover, and to the exchequer maybe all types of taxes. On 10 crores there will be a total hit today.
ಬೇಸಿಗೆ ಕಾಲ ಬೇಸಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಅಭಾವ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರೇಟ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಲಾರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಐಟಮ್ಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಲೋಕಲ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಏನೂ ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ರೇಟೇ ಇದೆ. ಬೀನ್ಸು ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಆಚೆ ಲಾರಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದರೆ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೇಟ್ 40, 50, 60 ಇದೆ. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಟ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 40 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದೆ.
ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚೆಲ್ಲ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋದು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ ಬಂದಿರೋದು, ಬತ್ತಿ ಬಂದಿರೋದು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅಷ್ಟಿಗೇನು ಇವಾಗ ಬಂದು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೇಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಂತ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಲೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ರೇಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಒಂದು 20 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಒಂದು ತರಕಾರಿ ಮೇಲೆಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ನಮಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ರೆ ತರಕಾರಿಗಳು ಬಂದರೆ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ರೇಟು. ಜನರು ಬಂದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ರೇಟ್ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು. ಡೈಲಿ 20 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಗಿರಾಕಿನೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ನಷ್ಟನೇ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಗಿರಾಕಿ ಮೇನು. ಒಂದು ಕೆಜಿಗೆ 20 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದರೆ ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಇರುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜಲ್ದಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
On to some news from Chennai, where a premier school has already closed junior kindergarten admissions right up until the year 2020 and is now accepting applications to the batch of 2021 from parents of unborn children. Shweta gets us this report. Take a look.
Where schools across the country are closing admissions for the next academic year. Behind me is a school that has closed admissions for the year 2020 and have opened admissions for the year 2021. This simply means that parents have to apply for admissions right when they are pregnant with the child. This is considered as a hugely popular school, and getting admissions here is something very prestigious. The children of top bureaucrats, politicians, celebrities, and people mostly belonging to the elite sections of the society are a part of this school. And that is why parents go to any lengths to get admissions for their wards in this particular school. When we contacted the school authorities through mail and also in person, we did not get any response from them. Educationalists and activists are up in arms against the move as it violates the RTE Act. In Chennai, Shweta for Mirror Now.
This is actually, it looks like, from whatever I've read so far, it looks like it's an illegal thing to do. To ask parents to register for admission in the year of birth of the kid is simply atrocious at best. I don't think anywhere else in the world this would happen. I understand that Indians love education. We want all our kids to be educated in the best of schools. But then why can't this happen just a year prior to the admission at all? What is this thing?
There is honestly no clarity into why admission process is so messed up. You're talking about digital India. I make all my payments online, and still parents are made to stand in a queue to get admission forms. So you have so many forms given out, but in the end, no school in this country tells a parent why their kid is being rejected. I have never heard of a single school which with clarity can tell you why your ward is rejected. So that is a problem. From the school's point of view, the answer they give you is, hey, we don't have enough space. We don't have enough infrastructure. You know the population is increasing. You're not able to increase the space, right? So all I'm asking the government to do is, please create spaces, give more spaces for these schools so that they can also grow. If you're able to collect 100, 200 rupees on a weekly basis, saying that this is for school building, what are you building? I don't know.
And with that, we wrap here in this edition of The Big Story on Mirror Now. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.